It's time to react. What's going on? YouTube. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brad Steele channel. Steele Reactions Yataka is where it's happening. Thank you guys for joining me on the Bradical bandwagon today for another reaction video. And today I'm checking out something that you guys have requested me to check out many times. This is Burnham, Are You Happy? And the deal is, this is the final song from his special Make Happy on Netflix. And I have heard the prelude to this, the Can't Handle This Kanye rant, and everybody has said that I needed to see the follow-up to it. It's the final song, Are You Happy? From the special Make Happy. That's the question he asked at the end of Can't Handle This, or rather the statement he makes, I hope you're happy. And now I guess this is a follow-up to that. So I'm going to be checking that out here in a moment. Before I do that though, thank you guys that have subscribed to my channel. I appreciate it more than you know. If you haven't subscribed, the red subscribe button is underneath the video. As always, you can click that. Then you're on the Bradical bandwagon. My covers and original music, most notably my new original song, Let 'Em Roll, that I wrote with Jacob Restituto and performed with him. Here's a snippet of that now. 'Cause it's a short life. Gotta let the past die. Let it go. Gotta let it go. I ain't here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. If you want to hear the full thing, like I said, there'll be a link to it at the end of the video for you to check out. I would appreciate that. For right now, it is Burnham, Are You Happy? I'm picking up right after Can't Handle This, the Kanye rant. I am going right after that. This is right after that's over. You guys said it was a short song, so we're just going to go ahead and play it. Here we go. Never mind. What? Here we go. That's, oh, that is so cool.
Oh, good, it's just us.
So I think you guys said this is the same room, I think, that he ended up doing the Netflix special inside this room, and that explains the lead-in to Inside when he's kind of in that room at the end. And I love the transition there from him walking, literally from being on stage to seemingly walking into this room, and right when he sat the book down, the crowd goes silent. Here we go. Such a good musician, man. It's crazy.
Now the show is done.
Yeah.
I hope that you had gut trembling or something resembling fun. And if you watch this thing alone, you probably didn't laugh, but maybe a few times you exhaled out of your nose. But if you hated it, that's fair. But either way, could you find a little more time for a parting questionnaire? On a scale from 1 to 0, are you happy? 'Cause
Wow.
you're on your own from here, so are you happy?
Ooh, man, you're on your own from here. What did he say after the Can't Handle This? I hope you're happy. And it's pretty much a continuation of that. Listen, I hope you're happy, because if you're not happy by now, there's nothing else I could do for you. It's all on you. If a comedian getting up there and telling some jokes, if that can't make you happy, then you're kind of just sunk at that point. You're on your own.
Open to suggestions, are you happy? But what the kind of question is, am I happy? I really want to try to get happy. And I think that I could get it if I didn't always panic every time I'm unhappy. Like, I'm owed some life where I'm always like happy, which is stupid because I wouldn't even want it if I got it. Wait, oh,
wow.
My dad was right.
Oh boy, wow. I love. There's so much to unpack there. It was maybe I would be happy if I didn't panic every time I was unhappy. It's a lot of people with depression, say that the worst part of it is that you feel like in that moment where things are so miserable, you feel like it's never going to get better. I'm going to be like this forever. The way that I feel right now, this is how I'm going to feel next week. This is how I'm going to feel next month. It's never going to get better. So every time you're unhappy, you panic because you think, I'm always going to be this way. Maybe I would be happy if I didn't just freak out every time I was unhappy. Being unhappy is a part of life. It happens to everybody. No matter how happy you seem, you're going to be unhappy at some point. But sometimes our mind tricks us into thinking that it's always going to be like this, and it freaks us out.
So if you know or ever knew how to be happy on a scale from 1
nice
to 2
run.
now, are you happy? You're everything you hated. Are you happy? Hey look ma, I made it. Are you happy?
Wow. And then he leaves. Look at there! The chills that I have when I think about the fact, and he couldn't have known, obviously, nobody foresaw a global pandemic and everything, but to think about the chills that I get when I see him leaving that room, to go home for 5 years in terms of performing, and to think about he walked back into that same room 5 years later and put on a Netflix special that changed the game, really, with Inside. Without even knowing it, that was the perfect lead-in to Inside. 5 years before Inside even happened, maybe even longer. You guys may know better about the time frame. That's incredible. That's an incredible. That could have been the opener to Inside. I mean, it's the perfect question to end on. Are you happy? Before he comes back 5 years later with Inside in that very room. And it's interesting because when you leave it off with him, he seems happy. He's got, and I didn't know, is Bo Burnham a father? I didn't know if he had a kid. I'm assuming that lady was his significant other in some way. But he seems happy there at the end. He answers his own question. Yes, I'm happy. But then when we catch up with him in Inside, he does not seem very happy because life happens, and I think we need to take advantage of every happy day that we can get because those unhappy days are going to happen. I loved at the end of the song when he said, where he shifts, I think, almost to talking to his mom, and he asks his mom, "Are you happy? Is everything, I chased my dream," and some of us realize what that's like when you're trying to become something so that you make your family proud, and sometimes you don't even concentrate so much on yourself because you're so busy thinking about pleasing everybody else that sometimes it becomes more about their happiness than yours. It's like, well, Mom, I hope you're happy. Dad, I hope you're happy. Grandma, Grandpa, best friend, I hope you're happy. Hope I made you happy because that's really all I was trying to do here. There's so many thoughts that come to mind with that finale, and the perfect follow-up to Can't Handle This, and the perfect lead-in to Inside. And I love the part where he said, what kind of question even is that? Are you happy? Nobody's happy all the time. It almost varies by minute. There are some minutes where you feel perfectly happy, and then the next minute you think about something that makes you unhappy. So I kind of agree with what he's saying. It's kind of a goofy question to ask. And almost his way of saying, I hope I've made you happy. with this comedy special, because I know that was obviously the end of the special. I hope I've made you happy, but I know that if I have, it's only going to last for a second, because something else is going to happen. It's going to make you unhappy, and happiness is subjective. So I love that ending, and the way that it leads into Inside perfectly without even meaning to, because he didn't even know Inside was going to happen, because he didn't know that Inside was going to need to happen because of the pandemic. It just incredible. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. About the line about you've become everything you hated. Are you happy? It's so interesting, because we talked about it, Can't Handle This, because the audience seems to laugh at things they're not even supposed to laugh at. There's times where he's up there bearing his soul and people are ha 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 cheering and applauding. You've become everything you hated. You've become insensitive. I'm up there pouring my soul out and you don't even care. I hope you're happy. That's so good. That is so good. Bo Burnham, Are You Happy? From the Netflix special, Make Happy. Thank you guys for joining me on the Bradical bandwagon. The red subscribe button is there. Wish you would consider checking that out. You guys are the best. Let 'Em Roll. That's the new song by Jacob Restituto and myself. There should be a link to that on the screen right now. Thank you guys. Take it in. Soak it up. Bye, everybody.
Gotta let the past die, let it